Watch this and then we'll talk.
For the ladies present today, congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now about to cross this stage and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. I'm on this stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her vocation. I'm beyond blessed with the many talents God has given me, but it cannot be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
You see what happens when you give an Ooga Booga a microphone? You see what happens when you give him a stage and you say whatever you want. And he said, I wrote it down. And you're like, oh, that sounds like you planned something. And then he opens his mouth. Let's talk a little bit more about the levels of problematic that this is. For those who are new here, hi, my name is Shayna. I'm a journalist. I also talk a lot about decentering men, child-free living, the intersections of the two that are clearly present in this video. If any of that sounds like a vibe, please like, share, subscribe, all of that great stuff. Now, let's dive in. Now, point number one, I want to say that this man clearly has some mommy issues. Why? So his mother, his name is Harrison Butker, right? His mother, Elizabeth, is a clinical medical physicist. Sounds like she has goals and dreams and work towards those things, and he resents her for that. Not only does he resent her for that, but he said that she and all of the other women that he is now speaking to have been fed a diabolical lie. I'm gonna just put this in because there's a lot of noise that's happening downstairs. The diabolical lie is what he would consider to be the lie of independence, of financial stability, of goals, ambitions, things to be done, joys outside of men being the focus. Now, it might seem unrelated to some, but I see a direct correlation between what he was talking about and the Bumble fumble. For those of you who are unfamiliar with this, Bumble recently launched a new campaign that they were kept saying and teasing, oh, we're going to redefine the dating app, we're going to revamp, we're going to make it exciting, we're going to do, right? And then they come out with a series of nonsense, just absolute nonsense. So this says, thou shalt not give up on dating and become a nun. This is the app that is supposed to be for women, basically commanding you to go out and interact with men, or else, ew, you're going to be a nun. Also, I've met a couple nuns. They're phenomenal, living their best lives. Men to the side, except for Jesus. But like, this is really, Bumble really made a campaign series based on shaming women into talking to men. And that is basically what I think the college was, Benedictine College, which is a Catholic college. They basically brought somebody in to shame women into, hey, you know that degree that you spend X amount of thousands of dollars on? It's useless. It's useless. Arguably, it's a diabolical lie that you invested in because you're dumb. Because the thing that you really should have been investing in is finding a man and breeding. It is very clear to me, regardless of the allegations of him may or may not be like having relations with a male cheerleader. We're putting that to the side, right? He does not like women. I don't think that he necessarily likes his wife so much as what his wife has done for him and the status that having his wife with him has the doors that has opened for him. I mean, yeah, he started to cry in a really uncomfortable kind of way. Do I believe it? Not for a second. But he also said the quiet part out loud. He said many quiet parts out loud. Ew. But one of the quiet parts that he said out loud was that he would be nothing if it wasn't for his wife. Specifically, the unpaid labor that his wife did that allowed him to boost his career and gain all of those concussions that clearly he has not recovered from. But if it wasn't for the unpaid, consistent labor of his wife for his career and also for her, in his mind, having his children. Oh, she did all these things for me to boost my, like her hopes, her dreams, whatever. I am her hopes. I am her dreams. She was nothing. She wasn't even fully a person until she met me. This and that speech and the general energy about women who are interested in men dating men, that all of this energy kind of seems to it all comes together to a head, because men are not really trying to be better. They're just trying to make their actions more palatable to the women that they want them. And for their actions to be palatable, because most women nowadays are, or most women that are interested in men who are like involving themselves in these kinds of conversations, their eyes are wide open. They're saying, hey, I don't really want to participate. If this is the outcome, if this is the product, I don't want to participate in it. And so they are then platformed to shame, to humiliate, to Ooga Booga at women until a few, many go, you know what, fine. You know what, fine, I'll participate. Because there's no way that after that speech, somebody that has spent thousands of dollars to get a degree would enthusiastically agree with him. I do also think that it needs to be said that there's a lot in that speech that runs parallel to men making the make me a sandwich jokes, right? These are not the thoughts of men who like women. These are not these are the thoughts of somebody who knows the benefits of using women, the benefits of having women in association, but they don't like women. The things that they say are not for women to like what they say. It is for the men to agree with them and for the women to submit to their higher thinking. Even though, once again, his head has been a salt shaker for years. Just wham, wham, left and right. And now he's out here giving commencement speeches. It don't make no sense. And now I'm going to read this so that way I don't lose my train of thought. But let's say, who needs your own bank account? Who needs a career that makes you happy? Who needs a life without men? Who needs girls' trips? Who needs no kids? Who needs investment accounts? Who needs an entire house for yourself? Who needs any of that when you can have a man, your man, who can ooga booga in front of millions and bring your name in with him because he said, these aren't just my thoughts. My wife used her government name. He said she co-signs all of my thoughts. That's why she brought him in there, because, hey, you might not want to hear it from a man, but if you hear that a woman agrees with my thoughts, then the embarrassment, shame, the unmitigated gall to bring. Now, we don't even know if she agrees or not, but all we do know is what he said, because nobody's interviewing his wife. Nobody's interviewing her or calling out to her to be like, hey, do you agree with what he said? No. He just took her name, dragged it through the mud, and said, happy graduation. I'm telling, when I say you got to be careful about the men that you bring into your life, because he will embarrass me. I wouldn't show my face in public. These are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section. Once again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that sexy stuff, and I'll talk to you guys. I'm gonna talk to you guys later.